What up, New York Giant Nation? It's your boy, MacDaGiantsFan, man. Welcoming you back to the Week 8 edition of the True Blue Prevue. The New York Football Giants hosting the New York Jets. Yes, I said the New York Giants hosting the New York Jets. The New York Giants are technically the home team for this game. They do both share the MetLife Stadium, as we all know. But the Giants are listed as the home team for this particular game, for this particular matchup. Let's get right to it, man. The New York Jets are coming to town. Top 5 defense. As legit as it gets. This defense is downright scary, man. This defense is the reason for the bit of success that they have experienced this season thus far. But let's face it, this team is offensively challenged just like the New York Giants are. And this is going to probably be an ugly matchup, but a pretty ugly game, to be honest. Just you want to keep it real. You're not going to expect a lot of fireworks offensively in this football game. Wouldn't expect it. It would be a total shocker if they did come down to be like that. You're talking about the Jets defense has been downright good all season. From week 1, they've been good. They had one kind of a hiccup against the Dallas Cowboys, but other than that, they have been as stout as it gets across this league defensively. The New York Giants defense is finally waking up. The last couple of games been making some big time noise. 21 points allowed in the last 2 games against Buffalo and Washington Commanders, and these are and so the New York Giants defense is definitely coming around, and if this defense can keep that same energy, they will keep the New York Giants in a lot of ball games throughout the rest of this season, man. No matter, despite the offense, whatever the offense is doing, man. But the offense has to wake up. It definitely needs to wake up, and right now, it's a tough task to ask because injuries are still aplenty. I mean, yes, New York Giants got some good news. You got Andrew Thomas, John Michael Smith back in practice, but they're still not necessarily going full tilt, and they're still not guaranteed to be putting on a uniform on Sunday in this matchup against the Jets. So right now, it's still up in the air. We don't know what the status of these guys are going to be for Sunday, but it is pretty promising that they have at least been practicing, getting some reps in now. So possibly, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Honestly, at the time I'm making this video right now, we still don't really know for sure what their status is going to be for the game on Sunday. Same thing goes for quarterback Daniel Jones. He's still not clear for contact. As far as I'm concerned, I don't see him putting the uniform on Sunday as well either against this Jet team. I just don't see it. I think it's once again for the 3rd straight week. It'll be Tyrod Taylor's show, which for me is not a horrible thing. Tyrod Taylor has been coming out and showing some good things. Still haven't been able to get the points on the board, but he's been showing some pretty good things, man. And he comes up to he reads the defense, seems to read defense a lot better than Daniel Jones. He seems to not be as skittish, and he's definitely not shell-shocked. The line has been absolutely horrible still. It's been better, but still not good. It's still been horrible overall. And he's still back there running for his life as well. But at the same time, he's looking downfield and he's making some throws, and he's giving his offense at least a chance. Some better playmakers will probably help him out, but at the end of the day, we got to get our best playmakers out there and start focusing them in this offense a little bit more anyway. Look, Darius Slayton, he's a good guy. He's a nice guy and all. He's not number 1, number 2 receiver in this league. But yet he is for the New York Giants. That's just not good enough, man. Like I said, he's a good dude, but it is what it is. A square peg, round hole. He's a 3-4 at best on pretty much any other team in this league. Maybe try to get Isaiah Hodgins a little more involved than he's been all season. Like Jalen Hyde's been a lot more involved the last couple of weeks that Tyrod Taylor's been at the helm. That's a good thing. Continue that trend. Wan'Dale Robinson has been showing nice signs of good flashes of good explosiveness since he's returned back in week 3 in the 49er game. Continue that trend. Darren Waller got his first taste of the end zone last week against Washington Commanders. Definitely continue that trend. And Tyrod, I just like to see, I like what Tyrod's been out there doing. He's been mixing it up. Definitely giving the defenses different things to have to think about. Not making it so easy to defend the New York Giant offense. So that's what I kind of like to see right now. I mean, I get Daniel Jones is making $40 million,
Damn!
but to be honest, I kind of rather ride this out with Tyrod Taylor. Daniel Jones to me is a shell shock quarterback that's just not going to cut it here in New York at this point. The kid's gotta to get a change of scenery, go somewhere else, and try to revamp his career. But it's just not going to happen here in New York. I think the writing is all the way on the wall. I'm no longer neutral. I'm no longer on the fence. He's just not the guy for this team. That's unfortunate for him. It's not nowhere near all his fault. I am not blaming him fully for all of this. I mean, I blame him some of the, he has to take a little bit of the responsibility, but at the end of the day, I cannot blame him fully like some people do. So let's don't misconstrue my words. I think this kid really has been dealt a bad hand all 5 years he's been here. Just not ever getting the good complementary pieces around him good enough. Not ever playing behind even a decent offensive line. So there's a lot of things that go with it. But at the end of the day, he has to assume some of the responsibility himself also. I can't put it all on him, but I also can't make it seem like it's just not his fault at all. He's not to blame at all in any capacity. But this offensive line for the New York Giants has been playing a little bit better with Tyrod Taylor. I don't know if it's anything to do with maybe Tyrod Taylor getting them in better positions, like calling out, their signals or whatever a little bit better. But something has been gotten this offensive line playing a bit better. Still, like I said, not good. Not good by any means, but just a bit better. Tyrod is still back there running for his life a lot as well. Not as much as Daniel Jones was, but still a lot. So the offensive line is definitely starting to click a little bit better, which is a promising thing, especially if they can get the addition of Andrew Thomas and John Michael Smith back out there. Things could be a little bit promising, because especially with Tyrod Taylor out there and things he's been able to do. So we'll see what happens, man, with this team offensively on Sunday. But as far as with the Jets, man, this team offensively challenged. I think what you need to worry about trying to stop with the New York Jets is stopping this run game that they bring to the table. Breece Hall is a very accomplished running back. Dalvin Cook is still nothing to sneeze at, even though he hasn't really experienced a lot of success this season in the Jet uniform. He's still Dalvin Cook. He is still, as far as I'm concerned, one of the top running back in this league, even though he hasn't really had an opportunity to show that this season. Possibly, he arrived to the Jet, got picked up by the Jets so late in the process, man, right before the season started, basically. So he really never gotten a chance to get his feet wet. But you still gotta account for him. You still gotta watch out for him. And I mean, they still have a stud at wide receiver too, man. That they gotta account for him. Rookie of the year a season ago. So you definitely have to account for him as well out there. I don't know why his name is not coming to me right now. All of a sudden, I just blanked on his name, but we all know who I'm talking about, so it doesn't matter anyway. Zach Wilson, as far as I'm concerned, he's looking a little more poised out there, so I will admit that and give him credit that he deserves for that. But he's still Zach Wilson. He's still a guy that can be rattled, get that pressure on him, and pin your ears back, get that pressure, and force the mistakes, man. That's what the New York Giants going to have to do to really take a hold of this game. It's going to have to force Zach Wilson to make some errors, man, because what the Jets do defensively is going to keep them in the game for sure. So you got to force the errors from Zach Wilson, and then you got to capitalize. You have to capitalize as an offense. His defense has become all of a sudden opportunistic the last few weeks. The New York Giants defense has won the turnover battle in 3 consecutive games. Unfortunately, due to a lackluster offensive performances, this team has only 1-2 out of those last 3 games. I mean, defensively, the last 2 games the defense has done more than enough to win these football games, and he did win one of them. He won against Washington Commanders a week ago, but Buffalo Bills just still came up short because the offense was only able to put 9 points on the board. And that's just not good enough, man. The offense has to come to life, and they got to score touchdowns, man. They got to score touchdowns. Last week, when they scored the touchdowns last week, that was one of the first offensive touchdowns the New York Giants had scored since the San Francisco game. That was week 3. That's Terrible. That's a month of football with no offensive touchdowns being scored. That's never going to win you football games. You can't go that long without scoring touchdowns. Can't just kick field goals, Nick, that's going to get you by every week. Clearly, it doesn't. It clearly doesn't. After a masterful defensive performance against the Buffalo Bills, you saw what 3 field goals got us. It got us an L. It still got us an L. So this defense has to score points. They held off the Washington Commanders a week ago, and that was a great, great testament to this defense because the offense, once again, still only put up 14 points, 2 scores. That's just, you got to do better offensively, man. Got to get Saquon Barkley involved. Got to try to run this football and slow down that Jets pass rush. That's going to be the key to this game. And then on defensively, like I said, continue to do what you've been doing these last couple of weeks and just get after it. Kayvon Thibodeau has come to life, despite what some people seem to think and some statements that some people have been making. They can remain nameless because there are people I'm pretty sure know who I'm talking about. Kayvon Thibodeau has indeed come to life, and he's starting to make some plays for this defense. Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, these guys showed up big time last week, all having big games. And then the New York Giants secondary, Deonte Banks, man. Look, this young man right now, he should definitely be in the running for Defensive Rookie of the Year. It may be a tall order considering how bad this football team is, but he should definitely be in the running. This young man is putting together a tremendous season. Yeah, he got picked on and beat up a little bit by Terry McLaurin in the second half of that game in particular last week, but he still overall had a pretty solid game overall, and he's had a pretty damn solid season thus far. So this defense can just keep cooking, man. That'll keep the New York Giants in games, hopefully, and hopefully this offense can just get themselves together and just be competent enough and put up enough points to start winning some football games. These next stretch of games here is where the New York Giants got to try to get some semblance of this season back, man. If they're going to try to save this season, you got to start winning. These are the stretch of games where you got to get some wins in the win column, man, in the standings. You got to get some W's up there. So with that being said, man, I think this will be an ugly football game, a defensive struggle. But I'm just a little optimistic here, man. I'm being a little optimistic. I think the New York Giants can pull this one out 13-10. Yes, I know. It's an ugly score, but I believe the New York Giants can pull this one out, and I think it will be close. I think it will be ugly. I think it will be like a very low scoring affair. Take the unders. If y'all betting on this game, definitely take the under in this game. 13-10 New York Football Giants. And then immediately following the game, still I'll be on location, but immediately following the game, live from the MetLife parking lot, I will be still doing the True Blue Aftermath live on my channel. And don't forget to tune in on Wednesday evening, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, to myself and the super dope co-host Adam Costas for another edition of the Real Deal NFC East Roundup. And once again, this is the last week of October. Please continue to support breast cancer awareness. Do everything you can to support breast cancer awareness. Look, nothing is too small, man. Any support helps. It all helps to try to find a cure for this devastating disease that has just taken the lives of so many great individuals, man. So do whatever you can. Nothing is too small, man. Believe me when I say that. Everything helps. Whatever you can do. Support breast cancer awareness for this final week of October, man. Most definitely, man. Show some love, show some support. It's your boy Mac the Giants fan, man. I will see you at the game. Peace. I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants fan. That's MacDa Giants fan.